Hello and welcome to the movie podcast review of Jurassic World Dominion. My name is Daniel, and joining alongside me today are my fellow Raptors. I'm going to go, Raptors because they're dinosaurs, and Raptors also because of the Toronto Raptors. Anthony. Okay, and Shahbaz. I don't like any of the sounds that are happening right now, but I'm going to start with Anthony. How are you doing today, Anthony?
If I was a Raptor,
yes,
I would be, if this was my day, I would definitely say it was a good day.
I just
I don't know why. I didn't expect that.
I just want to confirm, is this if you're a Toronto Raptor or an actual dinosaur Raptor?
Dinosaur Raptor, yeah.
Okay, what if you were a Toronto Raptor?
Would it be a good day?
Yeah.
No.
Why?
Because I'm not in the finals.
Yeah, but you're rich though.
Okay, I guess.
I got him with that one.
You did get him.
I got him with that one.
Get him with that one.
Shahbaz, how are you doing?
Another day, and I'm feeling great. I just had a little camping trip that I was on, so I missed the Obi-Wan review.
You did, yeah, for episode 4.
Episode 4, but you know what? I'll give my review on it right now. I enjoyed it, but it was a little slow.
Okay.
But other than that, honestly, I'm doing great.
That's good. I'm excited to talk about this movie because this has been a film that we've been waiting a very long time to reach us. And of course, the film that we were talking about is Jurassic World Dominion. So stay tuned for that. We're going to talk all about it very soon. But as always, you can catch a brand new episode of the Movie Podcast every single Monday. And watch out throughout the week for our review episodes and all the latest movies and series. Shay was just giving you a little tease of some other episodes that are out right now. Make sure you follow us at The Movie Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Letterboxd. And don't forget to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, join our Discord, and write into the show at hello@TheMoviePodcast.ca. You can also subscribe to us on youtube.com/TheMoviePodcast. Check out our show notes for all of those links and more. We have lots of great episodes on the Movie Podcast feed right now. If you want to hear our thoughts, our spoiler-free thoughts on Ms. Marvel episodes 1 and 2, you can. If you want to hear our interview with the directors of the very first episode of Ms. Marvel, Adil and Bilal, you could go check that out as well. There's lots to listen to. Shay, we've had a lot of episodes in the last month. What would you say is your favorite? And let's say in the last few weeks.
I have too many favorites.
Okay.
But probably Bilal and Adil were just my top. Yeah, I mean, we had Obi-Wan episodes, the Boys episodes.
A lot of fun.
Yeah. I probably actually my favorite one in a long time.
Yeah.
Akiva Schaffer.
So Akiva Schaffer of The Lonely Island did join us on the show a few weeks ago to talk about Chip and Dale. We had a blast talking to him about that film, and obviously we are huge Lonely Island fans, so that was a dream come true. Also, having the kids in the hall on the show is pretty amazing. Anthony, are there other standout episodes for you in the last little while?
For me, I think our Crimes of the Future was a big hit because it's a movie that, again, it's not my cup of tea of film, but I think it left a mark on my
on your body, probably
on my body. But yeah, that was an interesting watch and review.
That was a fun conversation too, because I think we just we really were just trying to get deep inside that movie. Pun full intended on that. There's lots to look forward to in the coming weeks as well too, because we have our Lightyear review coming out very soon. We'll have our Spiderhead review coming out very soon. And speaking of Lightyear, I want to send a call out to all the Space Rangers in Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal. We're giving you the chance to win tickets to see the film early with you and a friend. Go check that out, because I think you're really going to want to see this film. And like we always say, you're not anybody if you're not seeing movies early.
That's true.
I think that's the motto at the end of the day.
That's the motto.
The movie we are talking about today, though, is Jurassic World Dominion. This is directed by Colin Trevorrow, making his return to the series after being absent for Fallen Kingdom. The film stars Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum, Sam Neill, DeWanda Wise, Mamoudou, Athie, B.D. Wong, Omar Sy, Isabella Sermon, Campbell Scott, Justice Smith, Scott Haze, Dichen, Lachman, and Daniella Pineda. And Jurassic World Dominion releases in theaters on June 10th by Universal Pictures. This movie is out by the time you're listening to this review, so there will be some light spoilers. If there's anything massive we're going to talk about, we'll definitely highlight it first so you could have a warning. But as we were discussing before we started this review, not too much that it feels like that could be spoiled.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I feel like most of this movie is pretty fair game.
Okay.
Pretty much, yeah. There's no shocking.
Yeah.
Let's get into our synopsis. I'm going to get Shay to read that out right now.
Yes, so the synopsis for this film is from Jurassic World architect and director Colin Trevorrow. Dominion takes place 4 years after Isla Nublar has been destroyed. Dinosaurs now live and hunt alongside humans all over the world. This fragile balance will reshape the future and determine once and for all whether human beings are to remain the apex predators on a planet they now share with history's most fearsome creature.
Thank you so much for that, Shahbaz. Anthony, I'm going to get you to start us off with your first reaction.
I did not like this film.
Thank you so much for listening to the movie podcast review. No, please continue.
Oh, there's a lot of things that I didn't like, but the major points, and there's a lot of points, but the major point is this movie is very convoluted and very long. There's a story here that is just so confusing and not interesting, and you're actually surprised that this is a plot that's taking place in a movie about dinosaurs, and it's not even really about dinosaurs. Dinosaurs is just the surrounding of the actual main.
There happens to be dinosaurs in here.
Yes, and that's what I kept asking. Where are the dinosaurs? They're around, but they're not the main reason why this group of people have come together. Colin continued the clone storyline and brought it again back into this version of his story.
Right.
And I just couldn't get into it. That clone aspect of the last film was probably the killing point of that last film. And then they brought it back here, and it just sank this movie for me personally. But yes, the story is super convoluted. It is super long. You find yourself watching it and you're just like, when is this going to end? When is it going to end? When is it going to end? When is it going to end? When you do get the older cast coming back, is very nostalgic. You see your childhood heroes from that world.
That's when there's a little bit of a spark that happens.
Yes, because you love their stories and you love them as characters.
Right.
But their portrayal of their characters are not what it used to be. It's almost like they're watered down versions of who they were in the past. And that's how I felt, especially with Dr. Alan Grant. He just didn't have that presence. I felt that there were so many characters in this movie that it almost was stretched thin with character development for this story.
Yes.
I don't know if you felt the same way.
Oh, 100%. Like you have so many characters in this movie, right? That you're trying to balance.
You have Chris Pratt, who's in this film, and you don't even feel like he's in this film. He is there. He's moving. He doesn't have a lot of dialogue. He's pretty silent. And do you guys agree?
Yeah. Chris Pratt. When you think of Chris Pratt in Jurassic World, the first film from 2015, that was his film.
Yeah.
You know, he made like Owen an iconic character within that movie. Obviously, the hand up was a huge thing that got really popular and people started parodying it. But we see a lot of him putting the hand up in this movie too, like to say, "Hey, take it easy," type of thing. But it's like that's kind of all he was. That's all we kind of got from him in this movie. He was just there. Same with Bryce Dallas Howard. They have some moments in this movie, but it just felt like they were just here.
Yeah.
Same with the original cast, right? Like you're bringing back the original three, some of the most iconic movie characters ever from that first film, and they're just there. And there's no real entrance for them. Yeah. There's no real moment for them. They just kind of appear, and then you keep this whole cast apart for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I
think that's we kind of agreed when they did come together as a huge. It was this huge cast. It almost looked like the Avengers at one point.
Yeah, there's like 8 of them just all standing there, like, "Hey, what's up? You train raptors?"
Man, there's too many people in this film at this moment, and too many people are trying to get screen time. And Colin's trying to tell the story, and it's just not flowing. And the dinosaur aspect, there are a lot of interesting scenes. You probably, if you watch the trailer. There was a scene where I thought it was Mexico, but it wasn't Mexico. It was in Italy. It was
Malta, right?
It was Malta, very close to Italy.
Yeah.
But this is where I was hoping I would be the first reaction, because I wanted to start off by saying dinosaurs were in Italy.
They were in Italy. They made it.
But there was
the whole movie is pretty much in Ity.
Yeah, but they don't really refer. They just say it's in Italy, but it
but where's the biogen facility? Is I guess
Italy.
It's somewhere in Italy.
Yeah, it's in Italy.
Yeah.
It's up in the
mountains,
the Alps.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I would say.
So we have biogen. Is biogen right?
Biosyn.
Something. Whatever.
Biosyn.
It's dumb. It doesn't matter.
So the villain of Biosyn, or the man who runs
Tim Cook.
Mr. Tim fucking Cook.
Yeah.
Is
dropping
in this
iPhones.
movie. He is literally in this film.
Just finished his conference at WWDC, and now here he is.
Hey guys.
Splicing dinosaur DNA.
Yeah. Played by Campbell Scott. If Campbell Scott were to play Tim Cook, I think he would be a shoe.
You gotta do it quickly though.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're both the same age, it feels like.
Tim Cook was in this film, and he did not like the dinosaurs, and he did not like.
No, but what was his? But here's the
I don't
thing.
even know what his point was.
What was the point of that? They're like established. Oh, and Ian Malcolm's working for them, and you're like, okay, but why though? And like this whole movie, there's just again, I hate trying to pick apart a movie that's about dinosaurs because I want to love all movies about dinosaurs.
Yeah.
But every scene in this movie felt like a collection of me going, but what? But why? But why are we doing this? Like, it was just, there's so many moments where you're just so confused to the motives of the characters, why they're doing the things that they're doing, because it just feels dumb. Like, it just feels really, really silly and just out of character for a lot of the characters in this movie. And to introduce a new company, you're like, of course they're bad guys. Why are you wasting time trying to make us think that they're the good guys? Because they're not. Like, it's just such a strange. This is just a weird story that you want to tell, and not just tell. You want to end this trilogy with. This
movie, I'll give my reaction.
Please, Shay. Please.
I was going in, even though I was hearing that it wasn't great. I was like, come on, it's dinosaurs. I've loved every single Jurassic film that's ever come out. So, and even Fallen Kingdom, I enjoy Fallen Kingdom, but I'm aware of its issues. Regardless of that, going into this, I'm like, it's going to be really hard for them to fumble the bag. They've brought all these characters back. They've got Colin Trevorrow back. Hopefully they can tell a great story because when the dinosaurs are in the world with everybody else, like, this should be a very easy film to make.
Yeah, at least we're not easy film, but at least a layup to be entertaining.
That's it.
Right?
That's all it needs to be. And the fact that this movie wasn't fun is the biggest crime of this movie. You have a movie about dinosaurs, but the dinosaurs don't really feel that important. They don't really have anything to do. They're kind of in the background. Sure, they're eating people, but even when they are, it's just there's no big kills that I was like, oh, I'll remember that kill. Like, there's from every Jurassic film, I can remember a scene
or a new dinosaur, right?
Or a new dinosaur. I can remember something that is pivotal that moment. If you look back at even Fallen Kingdom, the Indoraptor's claws just kind of come into the bed, scary, nightmare fuel. And then you go to the Mosasaurus in the first one, so on and so forth.
Yeah, and then Indominus Rex, who I thought was great as well, too.
Exactly. And in this one, I mean, there's a new dinosaur, the Gigantosaurus, something there, the gigabit iPhone.
There's
literally sound like a gigabit. Saurus.
The getting jiggy with it, Saurus?
Something like that.
But there's a few new dinosaurs in this movie, right? That they try to make them look more like birds and feathers and.
Well, yeah, I mean they're trying to be more scientifically accurate as to what dinosaurs are, but. At the end of the day, this movie, the fact that it just couldn't have fun, the fact that it almost felt like no one wanted to be in the movie is the most painful part of it too. How you have the three main characters come back and they don't really have much to do.
Or interact with each other.
That much. And then even like you have Chris Pratt, who like is great, but he didn't have a point in this film. And his relationship with Bryce Dallas Howard, the chemistry has always been a thing that people have brought up that it's not there. And in the first two films, I get it because it's this whole like, will they, won't they?
Right. And they're supposed to feel like two different worlds, at least in the first movie, 100%. Right?
And this one, the fact that they're forced to be a couple, or they are a couple, I saw the chemistry issues. I'm like, oh, this is weird. Like, they don't look good together.
Yeah. And they're raising a kid that they've been with.
I thought you were going to say they were racist. I'm like, I don't remember that
well,
film.
I don't know. No, but no. they are living very remote. So, no. No, and they're raising the clone baby. The clone kid from the second one
anymore, you know?
Clone High is going on. No, they're raising her, who it's like, okay, they've been together for 4 years, and then this movie kind of begins with them, living remotely, and you're like, okay, and like they feel very cold to one another. I get it's supposed to be like, oh, angsty teenager, but again, it's not given enough time to be established. So when she's taken, and then all of a sudden Claire's referring to her as it's my daughter, and it's like, wait, what? Like that's like it was just felt
it was forced.
It felt very forced. Also, the main I also want to confirm this with you guys. The main plot of this movie is that what were they, cicadas?
Locusts or cicadas? I want to
locusts.
They're locusts. Cicadas
They
are
are.
their trees. They don't.
No, they're locusts. Just they're mutant locusts.
Extra large locusts.
Dude,
that-
these are the giant ass locusts I've ever seen.
Yeah,
They're like the plague locusts. Like,
they
these
are.
like
This
the
is
end
this
of
this is
times.
this is what God sent.
This is what Moses was.
Yeah,
like,
this is what Moses had to deal with. You know, these giant locusts are eating crops, and they're
They're gonna cause a worldwide.
going to call
famine.
because Biosyn clearly is behind it, because the farmer is like, well, we're all natural here, but the farmers that use Biosyn seed, their crops are okay. And you're like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Like, I literally in my head, I think out loud, I said, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I didn't know agricultural agricultural terrorism was happening. And I know it is with like Monsanto and all that shit.
Yeah,
that's
but-
actually happened in the world. I didn't think that was going to be the plot of
No,
Jurassic
of
World Dominion.
these locusts, of these mutant locusts that are eating crops.
For a movie that should be about dinosaurs, the fact that it wasn't really about them is the wildest part of this movie.
These locusts got more time than the dinosaurs, man. Because
Yeah.
they're the things they go after in the facility. That's the thing that are attacking them. That's the thing they're looking for. And of course, the whole plot point, the whole reason to bring the original characters back is because Ian Malcolm apparently works for Biosyn, and he's working on the inside with this guy named Ramses. And what's her name? Ellie. Needs to go. I need to go get DNA to make sure that the DNA from these locusts are the same as the locusts at Biosyn. And you're like, well, dummy, if they have locusts at Biosyn, don't you think that's where they're coming from though? And like, and she's like, and there's only one person I trust to do this, and it's a guy I haven't seen in over 20 years, and it's Alan Grant. And you're like, but why though? There's no reason for these characters to come together. I wish they would come together, but not over this. This is so silly.
Yeah.
Not over a non-dinosaur issue.
No, it's like, I get like it's related to dinosaurs, sure. But like, it's just such a dumb reason.
It's a reach.
It's such a reach
And you
to
should-
bring this cast together.
And you shouldn't need a reach for a movie that, you know, if these characters are living in a world that now has dinosaurs in it, you shouldn't need a reach for an archaeologist and someone who studies dinosaurs to come together. Like,
Yeah.
the plot points are there.
Yeah.
But you don't need to create a locust infestation. Like, why? Oh,
And same-
Alan Grant's having a plumbing issue at his house. Only one person can solve it.
Yeah.
It's Ellie.
and it's like also BD Wong coming back. Like, I get it. This guy's always the issue, and it's like, what makes you think that he's going to do the right thing now?
Dr. Henry Wu is the most unnecessary character to have in this
Oh
trilogy.
my God.
Having him in Jurassic World was like a fun nod.
Yeah, like,
Cool.
oh, of course he's here. Yeah,
But then just kind of like pulling the thread.
and then Fallen
Became
Kingdom,
the
he's there.
villain.
yeah, and then this one too. I'm like, dude, read the room. Get out.
Yeah.
No one wants you here right now.
It's mind blowing, and then you keep they're like, fine, let's have these characters all back in this original trilogy, and they don't even interact with each other for 2 hours. And it's not until the last about 25 minutes of this movie that they're introduced to the other characters, that Alan and Ellie and Ian meet Owen and Claire and what's the clone's name?
Cloney.
Cloney? Clone Eastwood? Is that what you just said?
Clarice.
Clarice? Is it what's her name?
I'm looking it up.
Man,
I got it.
but yeah, so it takes a while to come together, and then you have DeWanda Wise, who's introduced to the cast. Macy, that's it. And it's like you just have all these characters who are here, and the actress from Severance as well too.
Yep.
There's so many.
Dichen Lachman.
Yeah, it's like you have all of these characters being thrown in, and then there's no closure really with any of them. And this movie ends, and I'm literally left. I don't remember the last time I left a movie, good or bad, that I felt literally nothing throughout. I felt nothing watching this movie.
Yeah.
And that's what's so upsetting about it. There wasn't even a moment that I popped off or was happy or was like, oh, that's fun. It's a movie about dinosaurs, and I just left and I was like, oh, movie's over.
And there's a lot of sequences where just there are things happening, and I mentioned the Malta sequence, but they're not memorable. And there's these
they were in the trailer.
Yeah, there's dinosaur fights, but they're not memorable. And there is the T-Rex is always the Rocky of this.
I just picture the T-Rex talking.
No matter what, you can knock that fucker down.
Yeah,
he will get back up. And if you are considered the biggest carnivore in the world,
doesn't matter,
have ever existed, he will make sure he's the
tiny arms got you.
And I think I like that part of Jurassic Park where they respect and honor
he's the logo
T-Rex.
He's like the
mascot.
He's a mascot, right? It's like the NBA logo, the MLB logo, like that's the Jurassic, that's the T-Rex.
Yes, but the ending sequence with him and with the T-Rex and the battle with the Gigabitsaurus
and the Wolverine
Saurus, Zelosaurus, I don't know, he has a Z in his name. It just felt anticlimactic, and it's like, this is the last Jurassic World in the trilogy. This is the last one, and this is the battle you're making. Like, you could have had that fucking dinosaur in New York. You could have had it anywhere else, but you placed it in Italy in the Alps.
Yeah, but it's not fucking. But not even just that. You're in a forest again. You're in the wild. Like you're
back to the wild.
You set the plot up at the end. It literally feels like, again, there's a lot of comparisons to the Rise of Skywalker with this movie, especially with like the first director coming back, the legacy characters coming back. But it's like you did something in the second film that you're like, that's really interesting. And I'm thinking like even The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
And now you're just going back to the third movie and you're like, hold on a second. Yeah, we're going to carry some plot points, but we're also just going to do Jurassic Park again. You know what I mean? But not fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Very true.
I didn't get why, we didn't see many other locales. Why, the first Jurassic World movie to me, I think is so fun. I think Jurassic World
Love it.
is such a fun movie. It's so self-aware. It's very tight as well. Like every scene really feels like it's building up to something. In this one, I'm surprised. Like I don't get it. I don't get how this movie was made. It felt so just thrown together without a single cohesive element.
The first Jurassic World is also just a hair over 2 hours, and this one's 2.5 hours, and you feel that.
Yeah.
You definitely feel that. And I think I'm just so
I know you
confused.
You were in the car and you were like you were talking about this film.
I was just screaming out the window the whole time.
Broke my window. I was very upset about that.
The longer I think about it, the more I hate it.
Listen, I don't hate the movie.
No, but like
I don't hate the movie.
Dislike it.
Yeah, the more I dislike it. Yeah.
The more you wish everyone was dead.
And you said,
yes.
You're this close to never watching another Jurassic Park or Jurassic
this
World
close to
movie again because you're just
Then you pulled a gun out.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though. Anthony said it. You end the second movie, and the movie literally ends with with dinosaurs being out in the world.
Yeah.
Guess what we don't see in this movie? Dinosaurs in cities, dinosaurs in the suburbs.
In news broadcasts.
Yeah, the movie opens probably one of the worst openings I've seen in a blockbuster
And now
film.
this video.
And now this video. And you're like, where is this coming from? Where all the other Jurassic Park films at least have an opening that is memorable.
Yes.
And you want to watch it and gets you excited. You think of the one from Fallen Kingdom. Remember that one? And Jurassic World. And all the Jurassic Parks are at least interesting. This one opens up with a video you would see on Facebook.
Yeah.
That would be like,
There's no-
and Jurassic and dinosaurs are. I'm like,
literally
it's
a news broadcast.
Why would you start with this? Feels like marketing that you would release before the movie comes out.
No narrative, DNA through this film.
No cohesion, nothing
at all. There was no reason to draw the plot the way it did.
A million title cards though telling you all the different locales that we're in. It's like, oh, we're in West Texas. Oh, we're in Malta. Oh, we're in this field. And it's like, why? Just it's frustrating, a little frustrating, because at the end of the day, like, I think we just wanted to have at least a big, dumb, fun movie. We've been on such a great track too with movies in 2022. And it's always unfortunate when it's the one you're looking forward to or one you're looking forward to when it doesn't always deliver.
It's interesting because like the writer for this film, the last movie the writer did, like the main screenplay writer, was Pacific Rim Uprising.
Yeah, but didn't they also write Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom?
Not according to IMDb.
Oh, that's what I was seeing on...
The story was done by Colin Trevorrow
Yeah.
and his partner.
Yeah.
I'm blanking on the name.
Yeah,
But,
because those two have been working on all of them together.
Yeah, I don't know if she did like uncredited work on other stuff, but according to IMDb right now, at least the last thing she wrote was Pacific
Yes,
Rim.
this is
Uprising.
Derek Connolly.
This is Emily Carmichael.
I'm talking
we're
about Emily Carmichael.
We're
Yeah,
talking about Emily Carmichael.
Yeah, she's the screenplay.
yeah, she's a screenplay
The
writer.
story is Colin Trevorrow and Derek Connolly.
Yes.
She did the screenplay. So she did, and we all know Pacific Rim Uprising, not a great movie.
Not a great.
There was a kid on my flight
yeah.
whenever I was on the plane.
Well, on the plane
On the plane, who was watching Pacific
Were
Rim
there chipmunks on the
Uprising.
plane?
There was no chipmunks
Or
on the plane,
raptors?
and the plane was not going to Italy.
Okay.
But this kid was watching Pacific Rim Uprising,
Yeah.
and I wanted to call the police on his parents.
Yeah.
To tell him to stop.
You should have called the
Air
flight
marshal?
attendant over. The air marshal.
Yeah.
Lock
If I stand
lock
up on
him
a plane, by the way, they're taking me down.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Point proven.
In
That is
fairness.
very
Point
true. That is
proven.
very true.
you
Point
guys stand up on a
proven.
plane, they're moving you to first class.
Yeah. Hold on. But let's be real. Anytime
You're
you and I
flying
have
the-
traveled,
we're-
though,
we're
I'm
flying
always the one who gets
Yeah,
stopped.
it's true though. Whenever we travel, they're like, he's got a mule. Get him instead. He's too obvious.
He's a diversion. No.
No, but here's look, we can talk about this movie for hours, but I think this movie doesn't deserve to be talked about for hours. It is an unfortunate end to a trilogy. It is an unfortunate film that it should have been about dinosaurs. It should have been about the ending of this great 6-film saga, if you want to say. But it gave us none of that.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. It's so secret that each sequel to Jurassic Park hasn't been critically loved either.
No.
Right? But at least we found merit and we found love and nostalgia in all of them. This one, not so much. I'm curious to see how it's going to play out in the long run. Let's get to our final recommendations. And Anthony, I'm going to get you to start us off.
I'm going to say, if you're a fan of Jurassic Park, you will probably not like this film. And
Okay.
I think you should skip it and you add it to the queue, but really don't go to the theater to watch it. Go watch Top Gun.
Go watch
You can't
Top
even
Gun.
watch an IMAX because this movie's taking all the IMAX. It doesn't even feel like this was an IMAX film. But anyways, yeah, you can skip it. I'm gonna say skip it.
I'm going to go next just to keep things fresh here.
Am I not fresh?
No, so I'm just not talking as much at the end because I don't want them to get stale of my voice.
Of course.
I don't like being negative about movies, and we're not negative about
This is
movies. I
not
think
this is not a
we're
negative, it's
we're being
critical.
playful.
We're being critical.
We're being critical. We're being playful, but this is just, I think, a fact at this point that I honestly think this is the worst Jurassic film that we've gotten, and this is the type of movie that makes me not want to watch any more of them. You know what I mean? And I think that's what's sad. Shay, you summed it up so well that I just wish that this movie focused on fun. I wish it focused on dinosaurs, and it didn't. And when you're bringing back a legacy cast or a cast that's iconic as from the first Jurassic Park movie, give them something to do. Mm-hmm. And this movie didn't. And I think that's where it fails miserably. It's a skip it for me. Mm-hmm. Shay.
Yeah, I would say skip it as well. I didn't like this movie. I didn't hate this movie. We didn't hate this movie.
No.
But I think for me, it bummed me out, and I was trying to find the merit in it, and it's not as horrible as everyone is making it out to seem, but I also don't think it's worth any of your time, so you're welcome to skip it.
I think at the end of the year, we're going to forget that this movie came out. And I think that's
review.
Yeah. What movie are we talking about again? And I think that's what's so troubling about it, right? So we're having an amazing year of films, and sadly this is not continuing that streak. But the best thing about listening to the movie podcast is there's always going to be another review that you could listen to. So please continue supporting us anywhere you can. Make sure you're following us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Letterboxd, because we have lots of reviews, lots of interviews, and lots of great episodes ahead. Also, we have lots of giveaways going on. Like I said, we have our Lightyear giveaway. You could also look forward to our review of Lightyear on Monday, so just in a few days. Next week is another stacked week for us. We have lots of reviews, as I said, so make sure you're tuned in there. And make sure if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're listening to this on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe, do all of the stuff that you do on YouTube, because we really want to grow our presence everywhere, because we love what we're doing. We want to keep doing it, and we want to be as accessible as we can. Thank you so much again for listening to our review of Jurassic World Dominion. That was This Time with the Movie Podcast, and we'll see you next.